So let's go to the Tennessee-UCLA game, which we play tomorrow on Labor Day, and Tennessee goes to UCLA to play the Bruins and their new coach Rick Neuheisel. Tennessee's all-time 7-4-2 in that series, and I don't think that's going to change. I think Tennessee will go in there, take care of business. Another SEC school coming back home with the victory. What do you think?
I think UCLA, has a chance in that football game. If they can just control the game and run the football with Khalil Bell and just put the pressure all on Tennessee's offense to make plays, I really think that UCLA has a good shot at winning the game, especially playing at home. And Tennessee sometimes struggle. They either play really good on the road or they struggle.
As we remember last year, they went to Cal and did get embarrassed last year in Cal. So who knows? Maybe they'll come to play. And we're finally going to wrap this segment up with the predictions of who we're going to think is going to win the conference. You want to go ahead and start with the SEC?
Yes, the SEC West champion is going to be Alabama after they beat Auburn and LSU. And then we're going to go with the East champion of Georgia. They're going to beat Florida in Jacksonville as much as I would like them to. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Georgia can pull it off as long as Sean Marino and Stafford can stay healthy and their defense keeps playing.
No, I'm going to go with the same.
Georgia is going to win the SEC outright.
I got Alabama over. Maybe they'll have the loss in the West, but I believe they're a strong enough team to beat LSU, whose quarterback position did kind of figure itself out, but I don't think they're strong enough. Florida, I believe, will win the East. It's all going to come down to the Jacksonville game.
Yes.
Depends who wants them more. Now, Florida has a chip on their shoulder against that game for the Kiss celebration last year. I would have Florida beating Alabama in the SEC championship game, which the SEC is unknown, so we're not really sure.
The SEC is a tough conference.
Okay. Now, ACC, I'll start. I have Florida State winning the conference. This is weird for me to say. I think they're going to finally shut everybody up. Clemson goes down. Virginia Tech goes down. I have Florida State, Miami, and Florida State pulling it out as the ACC champion.
The Coastal Division, Miami's got that locked up pretty much.
Number one recruiting class in the nation.
It's really between Miami and Virginia Tech, but Virginia Tech didn't show us that much. If they can't even keep up with Eastern Carolina's speed, what are they going to do against Miami's speed? Because they always have athletes.
And
then, I'm going to go Atlantic Division. I got to go with my Florida State Seminoles. The only team that I believe is going to challenge them, really, after watching Clemson play Alabama, is going to be Wake Forest. But I believe Florida State got on the third game of the season at Doak Campbell. I believe Florida State can take Riley Skinner and
that might be the
test. Down.
That might be the test.
And then I'm going to go with Florida State over Miami. We're going to get them two times in 1 year, guys. Florida State's going to beat Miami 2 times in 1 year, and then Florida State's going to win the ACC championship.
In the Big 12, you have Missouri in the top, and Missouri in the north. You have Nebraska in the north, Kansas in the north. Missouri, pretty much everybody says that. So I'm going to go with Missouri. I have Chase Daniels coming back, a Heisman candidate. And then I have Oklahoma from the south. I believe Oklahoma can take Missouri for the 3rd straight time. They beat them twice last year, and I don't think anything's going to change this year. I just don't see it happening.
I see the same thing. I think Missouri's going to go from the north, and then it's going to be Oklahoma from the south. But I think Missouri is going to get one back from Oklahoma and take the conference. In the end, they look pretty good against Illinois. They shut down Juice Williams, so they show they can shut down some powerful offenses, which Oklahoma has. So their defense. The only bad thing about Missouri, if Jeremy Maclin can't come back, if his injury is really serious, then I don't know. Missouri might be hurting on the offensive side of the football. But when you have Chase Daniels, a Heisman candidate right there, it's all you need.
Now you have the final 3 conferences, the major conferences. We have the Pac-10, the Big 10, and the Big East, none in which have a championship game. So basically it's outright or whatever. In the Pac-10 I have USC.
That's the easiest.
Yeah, that's the
easiest conference.
The Big 10.
Oregon's the only challenger I see out of that conference.
Maybe Arizona State.
But I think they're weak.
The Big 10 you have Ohio State at the top, Penn State, Illinois, Wisconsin didn't show up. So it's basically, I believe, a 3-team race. I'm gonna pick Ohio State I don't like them as a team, but against the competition they're playing in, I'm gonna have to pick Ohio State.
Sweater vest.
The Big Ten, probably in my opinion the weakest of all of the big major conferences. You have Michigan that's struggling. They lost to Utah this weekend.
A lot of high expectations.
And then you have Ohio State, which everyone believes is going to win the Big Ten. But in my opinion, I think that Illinois, they beat Ohio State last year, and this year
They played good against Missouri.
They beat Ohio State at Ohio State last year in the Horseshoe. So I believe that Ohio State has to go to Illinois, and I think Illinois is just going to run all over them again. Juice Williams.
Maybe no Beanie Wells.
Yeah. If Beanie Wells isn't there, then I for sure think that Illinois is going to beat Ohio State. I mean, Juice Williams is there. He came back. You got Ben, the wide receiver, who's really good. I mean, and then Ohio State's overrated in my opinion.
I believe they are overrated.
Second team in the nation. I mean, two years in a row you go to the national championship and you lose 2 years in a row.
That maybe shows you the strength in conferences. If you can go undefeated in the Big Ten, well, I guess we're losing one game in 2 years.
I mean, yeah, 1 game in 2 years in the Big Ten, but then you play an 11-2 LSU team in the national championship and you can't get it done.
2 straight years they played a 2-loss team.
Yeah, one loss.
Florida with 1 loss.
Yeah, Florida with 1 loss and LSU with 2 losses. So technically, the Big Ten, Ohio State had 3 losses. Ohio State had 1 loss, and then the 2 teams they played had 3 losses, and they couldn't get it done both years. So.
And it wasn't even not close. It was a blowout every time.
Yeah.
The Big East out of West Virginia, I think Pat White, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, everything, but I think Pat White, unstoppable.
In the Big East, it's all about Devine. Noel Devine, Pat White, everyone from West Virginia is ready to play. They're ready to win the Big East. They got a new head coach. They're ready.
Obviously, their other head coach didn't do so well, so they can't be complaining.
I know. Michigan.
And finally, I'm going to go with the national championship. I'm going to go Pac-10. I'm going to have USC playing, and I'm not going to be biased. I'm a Florida fan. I have Florida, but I'm going to say the SEC championship because I believe whoever wins the championship from the SEC will be playing in the national championship. That's just my thought, and I think that the SEC champion will defeat USC.
I mean,
bottom line.
I have the exact same thing that Gage has on my paper. USC versus Georgia. Why SEC champion? I'm confident that Georgia is going to win the SEC championship outright. I mean, and Georgia, if everyone can stay healthy on that Georgia football team, I do not see anyone beating them this year. I see them running the tables, undefeated, all that. I just don't see anyone being able to beat them. And, I mean, USC might have the best chance out of anyone in the country just with their offensive power in McKnight, Sanchez. They got a good tight end. Their wide receivers are insane. I mean, but I just don't think that their defense is going to be able to keep up with Georgia's SEC speed. It's all about the speed in the SEC.
Very true.
I mean, oh, and Enrique Davis, for all y'all who are wondering, this week he had 6 carries for 24 yards. But technically, if you take away the one carry that he had for a touchdown that was 1 yard, it was 5 carries for 23 yards, which is
over 4 yards a carry.
4 yards a carry. So, I mean, Enrique scores a touchdown in the Ole Miss game after going to the military academy to get his grades up or whatever.
I want to thank him. Good job. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Enrique. Watching him as a junior. Now watching you in the college, I mean, I think you got a chance to go to the pros if you can just keep it up and stay healthy.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
Wait, I got one question.
Yes.
Florida State.
Florida State. That's a long way away.
Oh.
I think we don't know what's going to happen in that game.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Florida's got some speed. I'm not really too confident in my Noles, but somehow, if Florida State, we'll see what they can do on the opening.
The streak has to end someday.
Yes, it does have to end someday. And we have Florida at Doak Campbell this year, which helps our
A lot of y'all will be coming with us to go to that game. I'm Gage, rest of my co-host, Zach DeVoe. We out.
Peace.
Do it.
Yeah.